when we talk about this topic tonight, uh, where the fallen angels, I would say, never left, or ancient possessions, modern control, what are we really dealing with? Because I have been doing some extra studying and of course, it's still taking us down a whole different route. But I think tonight I want to kind of a group session here that we can kind of talk about those things where, again, demons, angels, reptilians, whatever you want to call it, or they still here, or we talking about different bloodlines, or we going into different parts of the story as we can go. Again, this past weekend, we had our sigil and symbol webinar with Brother YOSEF and I, and we had a lot of people that came online and watched it. We had a few people from Dallas that came into the room while we were doing it live, and people got a lot of information from it. There are now should be working on their protection sigils, protecting their family, protecting their wealth, even their money sigils, and things that we will begin to discuss. I think it's something really important that we look into it. Other than that, the first thing I will say once again is the conversation tonight. So I hope that you can gather. I got my notes here on my iPad, and I'm gonna kind of read some of them as we begin to talk. And then, like I said, we'll get you engaged into the conversation because, see, they told us as we talk about it every day that the war is over, that the fallen were chained. And, if you've heard that story, the Nephilim was a myth, the demons was fiction, the angels no longer walk among men, but every cathedral hides their wings in plain sight. And then you talk about the ritual echoes their old names. Every throne traces this lineage to one command, and that is either bow or burn. That is really kind of interesting when you start looking deeper into this conversation that we're going to have tonight on, of course, the symbolism, what is happening in our real world. But my goal is to give you the idea that things can get a little better, because I think I was just talking to an individual that one thing that I heard was that it was always said that the devil's greatest trick was to convince us that he didn't exist. Now I'm hearing that the greatest trick that's the second greatest trick, but the first greatest trick is tricking people that there is not good in this world, right? That there's only bad things. And you hear that in conversation. So I've studied this for years, and the deeper I go, the clearer it becomes that once again, when it comes down to these angels and demons and all this, they never left, right? The Watchers, as we go into, descended, they corrupted, they conquered, not just through armies, but through systems, symbols, and spiritual consent. And this is why this past weekend it was very important doing what we were doing, going through the sigil and symbol protection. Now, I do plan on tonight putting it into the Patreon, our all access $26 area. So I'm going to load that 3-hour lecture and seminar or whatever webinar in there tonight. And for those, and if you don't have your membership, I think it is turned off for asking for new people and the people that, whatever. But if it's on, make sure I'm going to put it in there. So I know we've been getting emails of people saying, hey, I didn't make it, I want to watch it. It'll be in the Patreon tonight. So get your membership. And then some of our events, some of them will put portions of the knowledge beyond reality in there. Now, but through the system, through symbols and spiritual consent. Consent is going to be something we'll put over to the side and we'll talk about a little bit tonight. But they taught the kings how, if you look back in the day, how to kill, the priest. They taught priests how to lie. And today, this is where we're going to bring it forward, that they move through the veins of Hollywood. We're talking DC. We're talking Silicon Valley. It's in reality. And I think there's a big freaking disconnect from people that don't, on one hand, they know demons or whatever we want to call them exist. But on the other hand, they're a little different because they don't know that they're in the real world. It's integrated through the real world. So they don't come through portals anymore. I'm just saying, for example, they come through policy, they come through platforms, they come through pixels. And they have a new way of integrating man and machine is the game plan today. Now, the common beliefs that I'll go over here is that we're told that these beings are a metaphor in some cases, ancient folklore or harmless symbols or obsolete religions. This is how things are spent. You're told it's just an art when a celebrity covers one eye. We talk about that. I've done many videos when they do this. Oh, that's just an art. That's an artistic. Oh, the photographer asked them to do it. They're doing what they're told. How do a high profile multi-million-dollar artist want their life to be presented in such a manner without them controlling the outcome? They got handlers. They got everything. So those are things that you want to think about when it comes to this. They say it's just music when the Super Bowl opens up with a monologue themed light show. We've seen it. We've seen it 100 times. Someone says, Roderick, I just visit the Vatican and draconian is everywhere. I don't know how people don't see it. I personally think they're giving little kids. Yeah. So do you have photos? Did you take pictures though? If you take pictures, man, I'm gonna put my email on the screen and you can be sending them while we're talking tonight. I gotta see the pictures. That is on my list to go to the Vatican. And so if anybody want to go, if y'all want to make a trip to the Vatican, we need to go. Okay. Another thing, is it just fiction? When Netflix pushes bloodlines, demons, divine hybrid DNA in every script. This is happening, okay, when it comes down to this. But here's what I want you to do. We're going to think about this for a minute. I was going to say play devil's advocate, right? Why would I now put that into play? Well, let's think about this for a moment. If angels were real once, when did they stop? I don't think a lot of people, let me put my iPad down so we can go into that in a little more conversation. If angels was real once, when did they stop? I don't think people really think about that for a minute. So ponder on that. And maybe you can answer it for me. And maybe you can answer it for everyone in your perspective. Not just a yes or no, they're here or not, but just think about it. So let's think what possibly other people could be talking about or thinking about, so to speak. And another part of this is, why do secret societies still revere the Watchers? Secret societies today still have a lineage, belief, rituals of the Watchers, as though they're still here. It's just more modern day, right? They're still here. They didn't go anywhere, whether the lineage and everything else. So now I'm getting that there's several different lineages here. Also, why do the elites attend mock sacrifice rituals at Bohemian Grove? They still here, or why not? But Bohemian Grove still exists. The elites still go there and do their ceremonial type stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. You guys know the rebellion of truth versus authority. We like to, or I like to present the option of us not only learning the conspiracy of what they do, also taking some of the tools that they do and see how we can invert them back into a way that it works for us. That if we throw the same hook that they're hooking out there, they catch the fish and then they go skin it. We catch the fish, awaken it, and do a catch and release. So how come we can't accomplish that? Right? Why are the bloodlines still more important than their resumes? They're doing this. It's a bloodline thing, right? Some of them are still doing this. These questions are intended for us to think about it in such a way that we need to do that. Roderick, it's Earl from England. What's the two books by Judaism faith and the Torah first of the books? What is it about? He said, what is this about 3 years old? I'm really not kind of clear, but I'll read it again in a little bit. But the thing I'm saying to you, we got to think about this stuff, right? So the beings were cast down is the story. So let's just follow along. Let's follow along. I want y'all to understand when we do exorcism or people do exorcism, they kind of use the word cast out. But in this verbiage of what we hearing, the beings were cast down. They didn't say out. They didn't say pff, they disseminated. They didn't say, oh, the possession was gone or something like that, right? These people were supposedly cast down here. if we want to know where it's down. Their goal wasn't annihilation. It was infiltration. I'm saying that I believe that we have a mission as our community continues to grow. We got to focus more on love. And whatever that means to you, whatever that means to anyone else, but that seems to be one of the most powerful weaponry that we're going to mass together in an energetic form. If we can somehow put love in a ball of energy and just spit it out like a cannon, we probably can blow a lot of stuff away. I've said it before that my quest to experience true love has been tainted. I had a conversation today. Is that what I want or not? Or do I even understand it? You know, is that a desire or is it like an experience? And does that experience of me saying I want to experience true love, meaning I can be hurt because it's part of that experience of true love? Does true love hurt? So am I asking the right experience? Am I saying that this is what I want, or do I not want that at all? Do I just want to go back to 1,200 concubines like David? You get what I'm saying? Because the way this world is shaping out today, there is a fight for our souls. And there's something about the experience of us being here too, at the same time that we're trying to experience the experience, they're after us. They're chasing us like sharks in the water. And are after our souls, people, in our energetic form, our light. And we now need to band together and make it so bright that they can't even see it. Now, that's a wish. That is something that we will get into. That's something that we can talk about. And we can really think about that. And so our community C4s, which is the conspiracy and conscious convergence community. And as you know, we have one December the 13th. If you're in Dallas, it's absolutely free. If you're part of the community, we do take a $5 donation. But if it's time for us to bring and bridge that together, right? So again, I want you to ask yourself, if they were cast down but not out, and they bred with humans not to love, but to rule through flesh. And every war, every empire, every institution that followed carried a spark of the same corruption. So now it's like they didn't love the humans that they bred with. They needed to get the infiltration so that they can look like us. In some cases, we look like them. They needed to blend in because whatever their original forms, either we can't see it, understand it, or it'll be imprehensible for us to be looking at. We're not ready to see them in their true form. So they need to blend in something that our conscious and subconscious and unconscious could possibly understand. What do y'all think about that, though? All right, let me ask you a question. And you might be like, well, what's the question? Are they still here? And why do we think they're gone? And if they are still here, how come we don't act like it? Why don't we act like they're here? Why don't we come together in such a way that we know that they're here? Why don't we do things in an energetic, powerful, thought form way that we know that they're here? Why don't we get in a mass battlefront together because we know they're here? We read it. The history books tell us they said it was cast down, not out. But yet in church, when I grew up, we're going to cast this demon out. Did you? Or did it just go somewhere else? The lady, when I was a little kid, in there, in the pastor, and laying hands on him, and go, demon, go. And then she jumps on the floor. Cause I watched this when I was a kid. She's wiggling like a fish. Did it leave? Or did it hop into somebody else and walk out the front door? He said, oh, thank you. I was tired of this body anyway. So we are to assume that when we hear the scenario, it's happening the same way. So therefore, the question is, why does this matter? It matters like this. I'm glad you asked. If the falling never left, I want you to think about this, then the war never ended. Am I Am I assuming too much? And that means you're already in it. I'm in it. You're in it. Let's take that slow for a minute. If the falling never left, that would mean the war never ended. Am I assuming too much when I say that? Let me know. Am I assuming too much that if the falling never left, then the war never ended? And that already means that we're already in it. I truly believe, and a couple other people I've spoken with today, that our souls, number one, is the prize. We should know that. But they're here, and they're still here. Maybe the system is working where they got us so confused, so bogged down with anxiety, so bogged down with bills, so bogged down with life and television and stories and all this that we cannot see them in such a way that they're recognizable and that the game is on and we're part of the game. I don't know. But here's the worst part. And I'm just talking, right? And you're just here with me tonight. And hopefully you share this video and other people come on board with us. But here's the worst part. The modern church refuses to name this because they too have been infiltrated. I guarantee you that the modern church has been infiltrated by these angels, these demons, these reptilian, these archons, parasites, whatever. And you might be saying, well, Roderick, how do you know that? Why would you know? Think about the stake of a soul right now. How much do they want a soul that they will not? Because if you think it's the house of God, that the demon can't go in there, it's the house of God, so why would he be in it? Well, what if he built it? What if he built that property? And he has his entryways. What if he built it? And then where's the one place a lost soul goes? It's going to go where they think it can have help. It's going to go to church. It's hurt. It's beaten down. It's at its weakest moment. It don't even know what it's listening to. And it walks into a place where it possibly could be a trap. And the trap contains reprogramming, all of these things, and then says, open up your heart so we can put this entity in here. Why wouldn't that happen that way? Do you think aliens and angels coexist? I will probably say so. I will probably can say so, yeah. Someone else says that they're the roof. The wolf, I'm sorry, I'm talking about roof. The roof is on fire. Now, if you believe this is just politics, then you're deceived. Because if you think that this is culture, then you're blind when you see where we are today. If you believe the watchers are gone, then you already have bowed to them. They didn't fall into hell. They fell into governments, people. They fell into politics. They fell into Hollywood. They fell into all of the places of control and manipulation that was possible. Food sources, food plants, food places. Their plan is huge, and it's working in such a way that some people, we just don't see it. We don't have time to see it. We just don't have time to see it. And I think that's something that you want to look at. Let's go into what I call a deep dive of the bloodlines, the media, and possessions. And let's just say you think a few things could be intense, but I'm going to go deeper for you. We're going to trace the blood. I mean, we're going to talk about the blood a little bit, follow the names, and we're going to crack open a few of these rituals. I'm just going to do this as quickly as I can. But what we assume our leaders were human. Why do people think that? Why do you think the majority of the people right now watching TV assume that our leaders are human? Assumptions is the mother of all F-ups. We know this. But y'all can get into the conversation. Y'all can get into the conversation. Let us talk together. Why do we assume that our leaders are human? Why can't they be something else? And if you were going to be something else, do you want to be under a bridge, or do you want to be in leadership position to work the system? To work the system. We assume that our celebrities are talented. Think about it. We assume that our intuitions are on point when we see things. And then we got institutions out there that are neutral. We got a little bit of both. Oh, I'm intuitive, but you don't see it. That's crazy. But let me go into this. Why are the same families ruling the nation across centuries? How do they do that? How do the same families rule this nation for centuries? We can stop right there if we really want to work together. We can stop right there if we want to work together. I know I got enough people in here tonight that can answer some of these questions, or we throw something out there. This is a collective conversation tonight, and your point just may be the point. Your viewpoint may be the turning situation that we're looking for here. So we're not underestimating anything tonight. None. And I mean that. However, why are major bloodlines obsessed with marrying within? It's like they're willing to do incest. Why would they do that? Why would these major bloodlines be so obsessed that they will take their firstborns and cousins and they will crossbreed these people? And they want to make a super lizard or something. I don't know. I do know that they're doing it, and what they're making, I don't know. But I'm sure if lizard on the left, lizard on the right makes a lizard in the middle, is that not possible? Or demon on the left, demon on the right make a little demon? Or do they make a jackrabbit? So it's all done on purpose once we think about what they are trying to accomplish. If you remember the book I had, The 13 Illuminati Bloodlines by Fritz Springmeier, he documented dozens of verified occult elite lineages. So the question is, why does the Vatican sit on ancient texts warning of angelic corruption? They warn it. The Vatican, we warn this thing. But I don't think they care. I don't think they threw the warn. I think the warnings may be a misdirect. I think the warnings may be a misdirect. Lillian says they forgot about inbreeding causes deformity. Not in their case. I think they're not eating the same foods that we're eating, Lillian. They're not doing some of the same stuff that cause toxic pollution in our bodies, and they figured it out. So they can be able to make this work. You know, we used to do that when I bred dogs, if we call it line breeding, that eventually we bred a line, what we call a line breeding, a father back to his daughter. And I think seldomly, I don't think we ever did son back to mother. We never did that. But if you are going to have two parents, two dogs have puppies, and you're trying to get a distinctive gene from this dad per dog, which we already know that the puppy's carrying them both a little bit. So you breed that one to the daughter dog when it grows up, and then the puppy is a little more pure. You can't do that for a couple of generations because it then will cause deformities. But for 1 or 2 generations, you can tighten the bloodline is what we would call it in the breeding industry. It was very possible to do such a thing. All right, so if you came to the Dallas event, put in a chat. Just let me know you came so I can give a shout out to those of you who showed up in the room, if you're in here tonight. Or you watched it online too. If you watched the SIGIL lecture and everything online, let me know. So let's go with here. Why does the media figures flash symbols rooted in Babylonian and Egyptian rituals? Wouldn't that be something to think about, though, when you start looking at a lot of this? You know what I'm saying? Judith says she watched it virtually. Thank you. Maya says she was there. Anyone else? No? It was just two? Yeah. If you remember, MK Ultra was trauma programming and satanic ritual abuse. And these aren't outliers, people. They're like the new temples of possession. Yeah, they're not outliers, that's for sure. Yeah. And they go deeper. In here, I talk about the monarch mind control mirrors ancient Nephilim initiation rites, separation from parents, forced trauma, symbolic rebirth, fragmentation of identity, and total submission to a higher spirit. So they're doing that. And they don't possess your body, they're saying here in my notes. They possess it, they possess your worldview through repetition, through media, through the trauma disguised as news. Every shooting, every economic collapse, every hypersexualized child star, all part of the spell. They all part of the spell. What do we need to do as a community? If we're knowing this, what do we need to do as a community to combat or get people strong enough? Because you're not going to stop it, but get people strong enough where it just roll off like duck feathers. How do we get that done? Because this isn't random. When you start thinking about it, it's not random. This is a global operating system of demonic influence using human institutions as its hardware. That's how they do it. And every headline that you see out there, in most cases, in some of these bigger conglomerates, is a ritual. Every law is a link to something. Every symbol is a sigil. We talked about that this past weekend. Don't get confused when people talk about this is our what's the word I'm looking for? Our brand, and it's a sigil. Mine is our brand, but it's a freaking sigil for real, activated sigil. So we need to look at that. Good evening, Mr. Dobbins. How's it going on? So we need to look at those things and begin to just really think. Now, the war is not between the left and the right that we are being opposed to thinking about down in the White House. It's between divine origin and fallen imitation, period. Between up there, down here, as above, so below, maybe. I don't know, but it's definitely a situation that we want to look at. Yeah, definitely a situation. And every day you deny it, it deepens the ritual. So we can talk about the symbols a little bit if we want to, and we can name their names, teach their rituals, but I believe the hardest part is what I'm about to talk about, and that's what I call a final delusion. Yeah, I call it the final delusion because we assume that knowing is enough. That, I've said that. I was talking to someone else. We got so many people now that possess knowledge, and they like, that's just enough. But it's not. We got to go deeper because there's bigger things that we have to do. And I think it's very important. But let me give you, here's the trap, so to speak. Let me talk to you about the trap. Knowing isn't power. Obedience to truth is power. I want you to know that. Knowing is not the power. I know they people knowledge is power, but being obedient to the truth, that's true power, people. That's true power. The system doesn't care if you are awake. It just don't. As long as you're passive, as long as you keep watching, as long as you keep scrolling and keep consuming, that's just where it is. Ha. Thank you so much. She says, "Happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate you and all that you do, and know that you make a positive impact on this world and your love." You know, is it Nicole? Is the name? 3495. Thank you so much. I don't think I heard I love you this weekend at all, pretty much, but I really appreciate the support and everything else. And let me tell you, happy Thanksgiving to you. And I appreciate who you are and all that you do as well. And you just made a positive impact in my world. And that energy in my world is going to extend to all these other people's world. And you're loved too. Thank you so much. Yeah. And so we'll do that at the end. We'll make sure everybody here I love you at the end, right? And all those things. I think it's important for us to know that. Because I'm not doing that on Thanksgiving. I'm not doing anything. My mom will be at the house. I'll probably take her something, and then I'll come back up here, and I'll be like, for the last 5 years, I come up here and I sit up here. I'll be up here watching TV on things. I'll be in the office watching TV. Like I say, the system doesn't care if you're awake, as long as you're passive, as long as you keep watching, scrolling, and consuming. That's what they want. That's how it works. That's how the system works. So if the ancient beings never left, this is kind of twisting into here. And if possession now comes through repetition, trauma, and technology, then everything you consume either cleans you or claims you. Everything. It's like a duality. Yes or no. Every show is a sermon these days. Every lyric is liturgy, or whatever, liturgy. You know what I mean? And every image is invocation. They're not playing. These people are implementing, they're playing right at us, man. They're doing it right at us. That's how they're rolling. They're doing it right at us. We have TK in the house. What's going on? And yeah, that's how they're rolling. And if it's true, then neutrality is betrayal. Neutrality is betrayal. If this is true, then inaction is consent. This is what I want people to start understanding in our truth versus authority of C4 events. We got to invite people to these events. I'm going to give T-shirts away, whoever invite 3 people, if they register on the list and come. If you invite 5 people and you're the top one out of those people, you're going to get a free ticket to Billy or Doc B. But you got to invite people that sign in with their email on our thing, and then they sign up. This is for the next C4. I need to try to put some kind of note screen where you can put who referred them. I don't know how to do that yet, but we can ask them when they're there. We can just say, who invited you. So you don't defeat the darkness by watching it, people. I think a lot of people become observers, and then through being observers, they got a front row seat to this stuff, and they claim that they're woke. Yeah, they claim that they're woke, and they got a front row seat. You'll be surprised. You defeat it by refusing to host it, so to speak. You don't need it in your body. Turn it off. Speak its name. Break the spell. Break your own house. Because the next phase that they do, I don't think is informational. It's going to be an invasion. And it's not going to be an invasion like we think, where it's just going to come down here and fly down. It's going to be something a little deeper. They're already trying to put it there. Transhumanism, all of those things. They're trying. They are trying. But it's not going to work. I would say the veil is lifting. I think a lot of people are starting to see that out here. You see the stories. They're doing it. The portals are open. And all I can tell you is prepare your house. That's what we talked about on the SIGILS stuff. Prepare your house. A lot of people's house is not prepared. They just don't. Or they think it is because it's clean, but it's not prepared. Prepare your house. Maybe that needs to be our message of the month next month. And whatever you think preparation is, whether it's healing, you and your significant other, or whatever it is, but prepare your house, people. That's a true story. If you make it true. The final confrontation is spiritual. This is why we have those battlefront. It's spiritual. Spiritual is that final place that they're trying to get into. It's a fight. Keep fighting. It's a fight. Because I ain't going to bow. I just don't have to do that. I don't care. I ain't going to break. That's not going to happen at this point. And I will definitely promise you, I'm not going to get programmed. It's just not going to happen. Not with the setup, not with the whole thing. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I can guarantee you that. It's not going to happen. Now, of course, I'll quickly tell you, I'm not your savior. You ain't say I was either anyway. I'm an observer like you are, activating my operator side and sounding a trumpet before the storm. Something is going on right now. I don't know if they're getting closer to where we are or how, and I'm not talking about 3-Eye Atlas either. But I'm talking about whatever their plan is. Something in their plan, they are getting closer, people. And we're going to bring it up out of the ground. Out of the ground. We're going to do what we do. Somebody tell me you're not going to get the Nero chip. Nope. None of that. Dr. Strain is in the house. Now, you can share this with a person who's ready, man, because that's one of the things that we have to think about. Because a lot of these people are not ready. They're just not ready. You're not ready. You literally want to burn the distractions. We talked about sigils and burning this past weekend. Very detailed. Start acting. Start praying like the war is real, because it is. The angels and demons and all of those people, they're here. They're here. And some of them can jump through bodies and hoops and everything. Protect yourself. I wear my protection right here. My crystal, jade, tiger's eye. You're like, the protection is here. And I would tell people, and the plan is, don't be laughing at these demons. Confront these boogers, man. Confront them, because that'd be the best way. Because you made it this far. You're part of the rebellion. That's what we do. You're part of the rebellion. I just wanted to touch on that tonight. I didn't want to stay here all night tonight. I just wanted to touch on that. Let me know in the chat if you got any value out tonight's monologue, I'm going to call it. Let me know if you got any value out of tonight's monologue. I just wanted to come here and say something to you. I'll wait. I know there's a delay in the chat. Yeah, you're right. Right in front of our faces. Earl. Yeah. Right in front of our faces. Sometimes I think it's in their rule book. They got to show you. It's like Their rule book says they got to show us. They don't deny it. They do not deny it at all. Yeah, they don't. They I think they have to show us. Yeah, they have to show us. Someone said yes all the time. Thanks, please stay and share. Thank you. Divine, her name. Divine Feminine Goddess says, I'm late, but I'm here. Thank you for coming. Meemaw said, we love you. I love you, Rod. Thank you. All you say is true. Thank you. I got value from tonight's show. Thank you. That's all. I just want to know if you get value. Sometimes I be thinking I just be, like, all right, you can tell them this, you can say that, but ain't nobody listening to that. They're not going to go there. They'll be like, yeah. But the yeah is the place to be, right? That's the place to kind of hang out and get stuff discussed. Yeah, and you have to. Oh, thank you, Lydia. Yeah, you have to understand that, right? We have to understand that they fell down here to earth, and they didn't go inside the earth. They fell down here with us. Just imagine walking down the street and boom, a couple of giants fall down and be crying like it hurt. You know what I'm saying? They fall down. Nicole, thank you. Look, she got a Hollywood smile right there, y'all. So y'all give her a shout out for the super chat. Yeah, y'all give Nicole a shout out for the $20 chat. We didn't give you applause like I was supposed to. But I gotta admit, we do see our faces and stuff, AI faces and all that. I ain't saying you AI, no. Yeah. This weekend was pretty cool. We had a pretty good time of doing what we're doing. So I just want to kind of touch on that a little bit. Like I said, we're not going to stay here long tonight, and just pretty much. I am going to try to test of going live streaming during the daytime too. If you have not, if you can come to Dallas, anybody can come to Dallas. Doc B is going to be here, and he's going to be here December the 20th. So that countdown is happening, baby. We're getting ready to do it. Here's just a clip of what he's going to do here in Dallas.
Blow up your ball with your desires. What do you desire? What are you crystallizing? What would you like to attract? You got to tell yourself inside, every cell, every part of you, the friendly bacteria, everything in your body, and let go of all the things that are outside of this ball, outside of your attention. Are you ready? Yes. So what we're going to do, we're going to let it go wild. You can spin and throw it everywhere. Come on.
Hey, he said, let it go. We're gonna let it go too. I'm telling y'all, we're going on a journey and we're gonna be doing it. Get your protection, get ready, because we're gonna be doing it. We're gonna be doing it. Someone said it was an amazing time. Thank you, and Brother YOSEF. Appreciate it. Yeah, I had a good time. I'm gonna put the whole 3-hour seminar that we did Saturday. I'm gonna put it in the Patreon when we hang up. So if you ain't got a membership, go back there, $26, and watch it. We may do a little editing, but just go in there and watch it. And once again, so some of y'all in here, tell me what y'all do for a living. We're putting together a whole from our researchers to a whole lot of people. We're going to be putting together a lot of things together. So some of you tell me what y'all do for a living. What town y'all from? Let's start with Diva. I think you were what state you in, Miss Diva? RN? I know where Lillian is. I know what TK. I know where Maya is. Nicole, what state you stay in? Judy is retired. Yeah, I know her. Her and her dog. Dr. Strange, I forgot where you live. I know I mailed you some stuff. So where you live at? Yeah. The dope, is it Ethiopian? The dope Ethiopian? Where you live at? Y'all let me know where all of y'all are. Divine, where you at? Earl. Who else is in the chat? Y'all put where y'all from. South Cali. That's like Compton, like something like that. I don't know. Canada. Okay. Southern Cali. Okay. We got Canada. Well, I bet it's cold up there today. Ooh, shucks. Trade medical bill. Yeah. Man. Do we need any? Is there a conspiracy in trade medical billing? We need to know. We need to know all the conspiracy. Someone's from Chicago. Lots of. I bet it is. I am not doing. Live in Atlanta. Okay. Yeah, Doc B is going to come in from Atlanta in 20 days, y'all. He's going to be here in Dallas. Billy is going to be here in Dallas on the 24th of January. And then we're going to do another C4 meeting group. Veteran VP. Oh, man, what's been going on? I tried to reach you, brother. You were posting. You were down here in Dallas, and you didn't return. You didn't reach back out to me. Because I was seeing that you was here for some event, and I was trying to reach out to you to hook up with you. I saw it on your post. You were doing Instagram and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you were here in Dallas. But anyway, what's up, my brother? I hope it's all good. Phoenix warehouse work right now in Phoenix, Arizona. Oh, I know that's some good weather right now. Yeah, y'all got that alien weather. That's where they at in Phoenix. So I want y'all to start understanding that there is a war, and we got to arm ourselves, not just spiritually of protection, but symbolically as well, because they're using all the tools. And know that from all the plans that they have, that they want our souls, man. And that comes from us talking about Hollywood. That comes from us talking about a conspiracy. That's from us talking about consciousness. All of this stuff. He said he's going to check his number. Okay. Yeah. Reach out to me, man. Yeah. You can reach out to me. The number is
555-55-5555.
But you should have the number, though. You should have the real number. You should have the number. If not, let me make sure what I have. I like I said, I'm not gonna call your number right live, but let me see here. Let me see. Yeah, I got ended in 9-2. Is that right? I'm gonna try to text you again right now. Let me know you get this. Yeah. Yes, Luminous. Oh yeah, Luminous is our thing, people. Yeah, Luminous is our thing. Yeah, I just sent it. Okay, you got it. All right. Well, like I said, I was reaching out to you when you was here. Yeah, I was reaching out. You was out. You came to Dallas. I don't know what event it was. It was something, but you was posting. Actually, you was here, and maybe I did it on the DM of the thing. Yeah, maybe I did it on the DM of the other post or something, direct message through there or something. But I'll But yeah, we'll hook up. Does the luminous pendant have protection? Yes, it does. Everything I have protection. If y'all got it, you got it. Luminous protection is more, the intent is to see the unseen. So it's not really protection. Let me go back. You want to have the sigil and all that, but luminous is, the whole thing is designed for you. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah. As y'all know, bestseller. I hit bestseller status, so I am a best-selling author. So we hit bestseller. Thank you all. Thank you for the community. Still, if you want to get your book, you can go to Amazon and type The Unspeakable Truth. So bestseller on Amazon, the Amazon bestseller. So, and that's a good accomplishment. And for The Unspeakable Truth. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. If you order the pre-order, then it's going to come from Forbidden Knowledge and they'll mail it out. Even myself had to order. I went to Amazon to order my own book because the author copies hadn't got here. Yeah. So that's something important to know, pretty much. All right. So is there anything anyone want to discuss before we get out of here in 7 minutes at the top of the hour? I'm going to go in the office and do some work. Lonnie flew into Dallas today and she went right back. She came up, the producer, which is she's actually the event coordinator and guest relations part of the Truth versus Authority Knowledge Beyond Reality events. We had a great time working. She came in and we worked, man. Devin came up to the thing and discussed. We're going to put together something very special. So if y'all hadn't seen it, I think I have it on a slide here. Yeah. So, no, I think I took it down. I did. But as you know, we're doing a Knowledge Beyond Reality event. Yaya is going to be here, this lady.
Eve found the serpent more trustworthy than God, not because of his credentials, but because the serpent said what Eve wanted to hear. A lot of people.
So if you go to Yaya World on Instagram, she's deep. She's coming to Dallas on my birthday weekend. So hopefully TK and Empress, a lot of them set something up, because I ain't never had really a birthday party. I don't need no bang out party, but you know what I'm saying? A celebration. Yeah. Yeah, it's a kid in every king. So hint, hint, clue, clue. Yeah. But anyway, so we'll do it. We're going to celebrate 2 weeks. We'll celebrate, I think she'll be here to March the 14th. And then the week before is March the 7th. My birthday is March the 10th. And if any of you are Pisces, we're going to celebrate together. If any of you are Pisces, we're going to celebrate together. She says, what are some protection signs? Well, protection signs will come from your intentions. So you can create elements or use elements, known elements, and create the protection of it. So when I create this sigil, it has the fasci, it has the triangle, the two fish, the blue, the water, all of these things. And so but the circle really is going to be your protection. Always have a circle. Circle, keep things in and keep things out. All right, Jesse says March the 9th. She said, I got in the live stream a bit late, so I plan to restart the stream. Hope everyone has a great holiday and take care. All right, Nicole, we will see you later in South Cali. Well, yeah, you're 2 hours behind. And again, appreciate your support, all right? And all of those things. I, wish there was a time that I get to meet all of you in person that support, the show. And I couldn't do it without you guys and gals or whatever. So I appreciate you and thank you for coming, all right? I'll be hopping out of here in about 3 minutes myself, but yeah, I really appreciate you. Yeah. All right. So with that being said, I think we're gonna get on. I'll be on Forbidden Knowledge tomorrow, go a little deeper on a few things. And I just been out working all day today. So we were out all day. I picked her up from the airport this morning before she went back, and she said, going back, her hubby is fixing her a great dinner. But we had a great time though. Devin showed up and we really hashed out a lot of details for these upcoming events. She said, we got you for your birthday. All right now. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. All right. So if you want to get on our text list, there's a link in the description of this video. Make sure you get on our text list for the updates here in Dallas. We need everybody from volunteers or people that help spread the word, maybe some social media posts or whatever. If you're astute with Facebook ads and know how to do that stuff, Instagram ads, I'm going to be trying to do some of those things. So I need some knowledge. I don't know how to mess with it. All these things. So if you got different skill sets that'll help us grow the community, I would like to know about it. You can, send an email, contact@WhyTheBigSecret.com. Let me know your username and real name so I can know who I'm talking to. But if you got some skills and stuff that'll help us build, I'm calling on the community all this week. All this week, I'm gonna call on the community for help. He said I would definitely be there, but I am way in Baltimore. Yeah, it's going to be great, especially doing it. All of y'all should just move to freaking to Dallas. If everybody who watches us, everybody just come to Dallas and we just hover and create an energy sphere here, it'll be really good. Just come to Dallas. Just pack up like the Beverly Hillbillies and come to Dallas. I know y'all got families and friends and all that. So, but anyway, I get it. Wishful thinking, though. Very wishful thinking. I'm just thinking out loud, thinking out loud. That's all I'm doing. Just thinking out loud. All right. With that being said, I want you to let everybody know you love them. If you have not heard it today, put it in the chat. I love you all. I want you to know I love you. Like I say, I do. And if you didn't hear it this weekend, you're hearing it from me. It is Monday, so you don't have to go the rest of the week without knowing that you're loved. I think love is something that we're going to all explore together. We're going to explore it in different facets and in different ways. And eventually we can create the covering that everybody deserves, whether it's loving yourself individually, loving yourself within a couple realm, or loving others. It's just how you want to do it. But at the end of the day, as Meemaw says, I love you all. And that's one of the things that I think that we're going to do. She says, I'm going to my brother lives there. Oh, your brother lives here. I said lives. My bad. Oh, yeah. Okay. What part of town your brother live in? And which one are you coming to? Divine Feminine. Yeah. Where? So, where do your brother live? What part of town? And so I love you all. Definitely love you all. And hopefully, once again, you feel the energy. You will. And the expectation to come here to the show. We will be at Forbidden Knowledge tomorrow, and then I'm probably will live Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to start doing some interviews and stuff too. If there's people we need to interview, y'all let me know. We'll start reaching out to these people. Downtown. Okay, so downtown, from where we're doing our meetups and everything, downtown, he's probably, you all will be about 15 minutes away, okay? Yeah, so you definitely want to come there. And December the 13th is our next live, and it ain't Friday the 13th, it is Saturday. And we're going to be live, if that matter. Live together, so to speak. And we will be doing it. Yeah. Okay, it's 9:00. I will see you all. Y'all have a blessed night, okay? Let me get out of here.
UFOs,
UAPs,
unidentified anomalous phenomena,
unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Who are they? Where are they from? And what is their intent?
all questions that immediately come to mind with a mention of UFOs. A Pentagon report is detailing a dramatic increase in UFO sightings, more than 350 since 2021. Many of them are explained as being drones, birds, or weather events, but about half of them remain unexplained.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
This video taken by the Navy showing what he describes as pyramid-shaped UFOs flying over the USS Russell off the San Diego coast in July of 2019. The Pentagon has since confirmed that the video is authentic.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Late this afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested that the widely publicized mystery of the flying saucers may soon be solved. Army Air Force officers reported that one of the strange discs had been found and inspected sometime last week. Our correspondents in Los Angeles and Chicago have been in contact with Army officials endeavoring to obtain all possible late information. Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago. The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucers. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters at Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico, and the rancher turned it over to the Air Force. Rancher W.W. Brazil is the man who discovered the saucer.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
More people are coming forward with their own sightings.
Videos recorded by U.S. Navy personnel have added a new layer of evidence to the current national debate about UFOs.
Right at that moment, I saw what looked like 5 lights flying in formation in kind of an inverted check mark.
The NASA independent study team did not find any evidence that UAP have an extraterrestrial origin. We don't know what these UAP are.
The mysterious flying objects are still a mystery. NASA will continue investigating them and has appointed a director of UAP research.
Technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had.
Let's try.